monster. You get in my way, I'ma feed you to the monster. I'm normal during the day, but at night turn to a monster. When the moon shines like ice road truckers, I look like a villain out of those blockbusters. Monster.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel again. In this video, this is super crazy. I'm going to be reacting over to a video called The Wrestler with No Arms. This is a story about a wrestler named Zion Clark. So he was actually born, with this disformity, or however you call it, which he has no legs, and he continues to, have, amazing life, and, he's actually a wrestler. So we're going to dive into this video. The link to the actual video is in the description. Anyways, guys, let's hop on in.
Being born without legs hasn't stopped me from doing the things that I want to do.
People just, they'd make fun of me because I didn't have legs.
The best way to deal with haters is to use the hate to lift yourself up. Your haters are your biggest fans, so use that to your advantage.
That's so cool. Born different.
Zion Clark.
Dude's a beast.
I was born with a rare condition that caused me not to have legs. I was born with caudal regression syndrome. It is a very rare disease. 1 out of every 100,000 kids are born with it each year. Caudal regression syndrome is a rare disease that can cause a number of abnormalities in a baby. Like, it can be you have a portion of your spine missing, or in my case, I was born without legs. I lived most of my life through foster care up until about 16.
He came into my life when the caseworkers had reached
That's
out
crazy.
to me and said that they needed a placement for a young fellow.
Not really having any parents until 16.
Later, then it came to a point to where I just knew he was mine, and I just was so in love with him. And I approached him one day on the couch and I said, Zion, I know that I'm not your biological mother. And I asked him if I could get to be his mom. He said, yes, I want you to be my mom. I was like, well, let's do this. Let's do it.
The relationship with my mom is fantastic. She is the greatest woman I know, and she wants what's best for me. She wants what's best for me and my sisters. She never once was gonna give up on me.
I mean, I was always a troubled kid during school, so I mean, any little thing would make me mad. I just got in trouble for punching lockers or just back talking to teachers, Well, people just, they'd make fun of me because I didn't have legs, so they think I couldn't do something, or they'd be talking to me saying I wouldn't do something, and in turn I'd do it and get in trouble. But then after a while, I just got tired of it, so I'd stop reacting and I'd just let them talk, and eventually they just started leaving me alone. School wasn't the greatest time for me.
Mad facts right there.
By the time I was a senior, I was able to turn it around and get to college and start doing everything I wanted to do.
I started wrestling in 2nd grade. I could just go wrestle for a couple more hours, waste all my energy, and go home and just go to sleep. When I was really little, the first few matches, I didn't know what to do, and neither did my opponent. Some kids were scared to wrestle me. I was scared to wrestle them. I didn't know what I was doing. I adapted my wrestling by a lot of trial and error. I spent years figuring out what would work, what didn't work, and there's a lot of things that don't work.
That looks so cool.
Things that do work, drill them over and over and over again until they're completely flawless, until somebody might know I'm doing it, but I'm going to do it anyways, whether they want me to or not.
That's why his arms are so big. He's just always balancing, that's crazy. Imagine if he had legs now,
great about a match.
If he was still this dedicated.
Twice a day, every single day, about 6 days a week.
It'd be crazy.
And it's an everyday thing. It's a grind. It's a lifestyle.
Zion was a very special athlete because he had perseverance, and his determination was second to none. It was very easy for me to coach him with qualities like that. Very good takedown. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get the breakdown. He has no legs, so he doesn't have any power for the bottom half of his body, which puts him at a grave disadvantage for wrestling. I noticed that because of his willingness to do the things that he needs to do to win, that I knew that we could come up with something to make him successful.
How proud am I, Zion? Give me a Z. Z, you got your Z, you got your Z. I am proud. I'm his #1 cheerleader. I told you I am the executive director of his fan club. I am very proud of him. How at first he was just so angry, but how he learned It's each time to route that anger and to make it into something positive.
Being born without legs hasn't stopped me from doing the things that I want to do. The best way to deal with haters is to use the hate to lift yourself up. Your haters are your biggest fans, so use that to your advantage. My dreams and ambitions, one day to make the Olympic team, be one of the best freestyle wrestlers in the world. I want to be able to go back home, tell my mom, like, Mom, #1, there's nobody better. I'm going to try to keep getting better from there. I just want to be the best. The biggest lesson I've had to learn is that things will not always go your way, but you have to work with what you got. And once you're able to work with what you have, multiple doors will start to open.
That was crazy. That was a really good story. You know, that is a super special story. Just like I said, you know, he had that tattoo on his back that you could probably see. It said "No excuses," and you know, especially, you know, like in wrestling, like you can't make any excuses. Like, sure, is some things why, you know, the reason that you can't do this or you can't do that, that's just the limitations that you're putting on yourself. Why put limitations on yourself when you don't have to? Like, just imagine, like, you know, I guess, like, my everyday life, you know, or pretty much, you know, a lot of other people's who can have, you know, 4 limbs and everything, and just is like normal in that sense. And now having another wrestler who's born, you know, without legs, you know, which puts them at, you know, that disadvantage, you know, of everyday life, plus now put him in wrestling. Like, there's dedication, there is strength, there is like courage in that for someone even wanting, you know, to attempt to do this. And you know, he has those high goals, you know, of, you know, winning, you know, Olympic or world gold, as he said. But there's no excuses to why you can't do something. And you can clearly see from this story that this is just one case where you got this person, you know, Zion Clark, who doesn't have any excuses and lives their life as they want to. Whatever they want to accomplish, they're gonna do everything in their power to get it. So why can't you? Why can't you get what you want? No excuses. This is your life to live, no one else's. You know, people say that, oh yeah, you know, there's destiny, whatnot, and you know, you're gonna win this one. But what if there's not? And what if every day the decisions you make every single day predict what's gonna happen? Because the more work you put in, the more positive thoughts you have about it, the more it'll come about and the more you'll get it. It's not rocket science. Literally focus on what you want, do everything you can to get yourself there, and if you don't get there, well, then you'll be a heck of a lot closer than if you hadn't in the first place. Anyways, guys, this was a super awesome video. Again, original video is in the description. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. WallowsWarriors.com for the Wallows Warriors merch. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. See you guys next video.